Welcome to part 2 of SIGCruiser Solo Cruise Chat with Rokeya, also known as MsQueenRo. If you missed part 1, click the link above to check it out. And now, we pick up our conversation where we left off, and that was with excursions for solo cruisers. Let's take a listen.
So excursions, first time cruising, if you've never really cruised before, whether you go with a group or solo, I suggest using the cruise lines excursions aspect, only because you want to get that experience and you want to make sure you're protected, right? The cruise line, if anything happens with the excursion or the cruise itself, you will always be protected by that cruise line. I'm a little bit of first of all, I'm a risk taker. So I, as you can see, traveling alone by myself.
So I know where you're gonna go.
Yes. So I'm a little bit more of a person that's going to be like, I'm just going to do it. And I'm a little bit more advanced. So because of that, I don't mind booking through a third party when it comes to excursions. So for me, like I said, I use Expedia. Once you book your cruise through Expedia, you can they'll take you to an area to where you can book all your if the contracted those companies work through Expedia. So you may have a limited amount. So you still may have to do your research to like just kind of Google excursions in this area. And honestly, you can do that as well. That's another way to do it. But because I like to do one-stop shop, so I usually book all my stuff through Expedia. But that was for my first cruise. I'm thinking differently for my next cruise, actually. But yes, so talking about saving money, you can use third-party sites. Now, the disclaimer in that right now is, though, the pandemic has kind of messed it up a little bit. So but whoever watched this at the time, it may change at the time you're watching this video. I would do your research prior to booking third-party when it comes to excursions.
Now, speaking of the pandemic, so where are you now? How are you feeling about, your next travel, your next cruise? Do you have anything coming up? So what are your feelings around that?
So I'll get to my cruise in a second, or cruising in a second. So far with the pandemic, so again, I'm a risk taker.
Okay, yes.
MsQueenRo has been traveling during the pandemic all through 2020, the whole time. What's up, Royals? I came all the way on the train alone to 42nd and 8th Avenue trying to get to the Sugar Factory because I heard it was one of the famous dessert places to go here, and it's actually closed. I think I have a plan B because as I was walking, I found this gelato place that looks pretty interesting. So let's go check it out. I have not traveled internationally, and that's probably only because they wouldn't allow me to. Right. They didn't allow me to travel internationally. Otherwise, I would have been on someone's beach somewhere or somebody's land. But things are opening up, thankfully. I am definitely starting to book, along with having these bucket list goals of solo traveling. I have just bucket list goals of just to reach different destinations. So I have a goal by 2030 to visit all 50 states and to visit 8 new countries by 2030. I may have to up it for the countries because with me cruising, I'm hitting new countries every time. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a little bit easy. But the 50 states, I'm gradually making it to that, and I'm halfway there. So
and all that you're planning to be solo travel or a mixture?
No, just a mixture. Yeah, just a mixture. Yeah. So I have this goal. So with that, the pandemic kind of messed it up because I'm like, 2020, I really couldn't go anywhere that I really wanted to go. But now, your girl's vaccinated.
I'm ready to go.
Floodgates are about to open. All right. So again, if you want to know where I'm going, then along with following Cheryl, follow me on Instagram and you'll know where I'm going. Again, that's a Royal Consulting Biz, or on YouTube, MsQueenRo. because I really don't want to name it now, but as far as cruising goes, yes, I will be going on a cruise before the year is over. I already
Oh,
have something booked, and I'll just say the time frame. The time frame is going to be Halloween. So
okay.
Halloween 2021, I was good. And it's funny because I was going to wait until 2022. But talking about saving money,
Yes.
girl, these cruise lines are asking people to come. So the
Mhm.
specials that they're offering,
Mhm.
I couldn't resist. They
Right.
got me. They
Yeah.
got me. So going back to budgeting, financial,
Mhm.
that's another way you can do it too. Make sure you get on a newsletter for these cruise lines. Like I'm on Norwegian, so far Norwegian has been my favorite cruise line to be on. And the specials will come through your email. So if you're looking to want to save money, get
Mhm.
on to where you can get these savings. And if you don't mind booking ahead, to like don't book last minute,
Mhm.
you'll be able to save money because then you can also make payments towards your cruise as well.
Mhm. Yes.
So yeah, so Halloween 2021, I will be, so I won't say where I'm going, but I will say that I have booked through with Norwegian. So I will be another Norwegian cruise in Halloween of this year. And I'm so excited because
Okay.
this is the cruise that I was going to press book. This
Yes.
is the trip that I was going to press book before the pandemic hit
Okay.
in April of or March of 2020. I was about to press book when the doors closed. I couldn't go anywhere. So
Mm.
I've been waiting well over a year for this cruise. I guess
Wow.
by the time October gets here, it would have been almost 2 years that I've set foot on a cruise ship.
Yes.
So unless they close it down, something dramatic happens, I
Mhm.
will be on a Norwegian ship come October this year.
Now, do you think you will feel comfortable on the ship? Do you think you will have any worries
I
or?
don't think so. Yeah, I have been doing a lot of research these past few months, and the first North American cruise left out a few weeks ago from Bahamas.
Yes.
What, the Adventure of the Seas?
Right. We
Yep.
watching the videos too.
Mm. That's how excited we are. That's how excited we are.
Yeah.
So that's how true travelers we are too. I remember the cruise, the Royal Caribbean is cruised out of the Bahamas. So as far as me feeling safe, I feel 100% safe.
Okay.
Even before I even watched the videos with that,
Mhm.
when I booked my cruise for October, I asked these questions. I said, what is your protocol? What are the rules? What are the guidelines? If something happens, a breakout happens, what will happen during that time? So the agent went over everything, the rules that's supposed to happen. And again, he said you have to be vaccinated. You have to get your COVID test prior to getting on the ship.
Mhm.
So I really feel pretty safe, in aspect. And again, I mean, how many times I've said on this call that I'm a risk taker.
Right.
So
I have one last question.
Mhm.
So, you've given so many tips throughout, this interview, but I'm still going to ask for the aspiring solo cruisers, solo travel. If you can narrow it down, what would be your top tip to give them?
I would have to side on the fact of adventure.
Okay.
If you're one for wanting to try something new, you're sick and tired of doing the mundane things back home and you want to do something new, I would say go for that reason.
Hmm.
Come out of your comfort zone, make it a goal, a bucket list goal of yours to say, I'm going to take an adventure. Let me try. And it's so funny because one of the main reasons why I vlog or take captions of when I'm on any type of travel, whether it's cruising or land travel, is because I will get so many side messages, DMs, texts. If they know me like that or whatever, they're just like, Rokeya, you're so brave. You're so brave. You're a woman. You're going out doing things on your own, and I would never think to do anything like that. But because you've done it, I think I'm going to step out and do it.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
I don't do it for that reason, but I never knew how much of an impact and inspiration I was to so many people over these years.
Mhm.
So that's the reason why I keep the content creating going so that I can encourage someone else to take that adventure as well. And then I think that probably the second reason is for mental reasons, right? Mental health reasons.
Yes.
Solo cruising, there is such a peace that happens when you solo cruise.
Yes.
you
Oh
know,
my
And I'm not just talking about relaxation. I'm just talking about, because you're solo cruising, you can do what you want to do. You can do what you want to do without the opinions, without people telling you, let's go here, let's go here.
You can
Like,
change your mind.
you can change your mind. You can just sit in your room in your robe, whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want. So the mental health reason to solo cruise was big for me. That's one of the reasons why I did it. It was perfect. And then the same goes for the solo land travel as well. There's such a piece. I think there's more adventure when I land travel, though. I think there's more adventure for that. But even when I go back to my hotel room and plan out the next day, to do what I want, because I want to do what I want to do. So it's such a piece with it. So that'll be my top 2 reasons why I solo travel.
Okay. And you have inspired me already to try solo land travel now that I know your method, because I did have some concerns about that, the security part of it. But what you said today makes me feel a little more comfortable about it.
Good. Yes. I think you should do a video on that too, so I can just talk about land travel after maybe you do your first.
Yes, of course. Well, it was such a pleasure meeting you. Finally getting a chance to talk to you after all these years. My goodness. And thank you so much for being my first guest to talk about solo travel, solo cruising. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. This has been so fun. I guess call it the consultant inside of me. I love teaching. I love educating, and but talking about something that's just fun to me is like the best. So I appreciate the invite. And it's an honor that I'm your first. And whenever you want me back, I'll definitely come back and we can do it. And I'm counting on the times and the days where we can go on our cruise together and content create together.
Yes. Now, before we go, I know you already said it, but can you let us know, how we can follow you, especially to find out where you're cruising to in October? How can we connect with you?
Yes, I am most active on Instagram. So you can follow me there at Royal Consulting Biz. And then for more details, specifics, more tips and learnings you can get, then you would want to follow me or subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is MsQueenRo. And you'll get a lot of insight tips and learnings from there as well. So again, thank you so much. It's been so fun.
Well, thank you so much. And what I want to say is happy cruising and happy traveling. Okay.
Thank you. Same to you.
Bye-bye.
That's a wrap for now. Hey, if you like this interview, hit the like button. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Hey, are you a solo cruiser and would like to share your story too? Just send me a message at SIGCruiser on Instagram.